races, 3 hours. That's all that remains in the 2025 Pirelli GT4 America season as we head into the final leg of a triple-header weekend at Barber Motorsports Park. Hello and welcome. My name is Ryan Marine. Calvin Fish is alongside. It's Amanda Busick down in the pits, and it's a pleasure to have your company as we get ready for 1 hour of thrilling GT4 racing here under the sunny skies of Alabama. 73 degrees in the air, on track 86 degrees, much more temperate than we've seen over the previous few days here at Barber. And that said, we've seen plenty of fireworks in the 2 GT4 America races already this weekend, expecting more of the same with championships, Calvin, starting to come into focus.
Yeah, very much so in the silver class. What a weekend for the 97 squad from Random Vandals. 2 wins have given them an almost insurmountable 64-point lead. They could clinch the title today. 68 car. Gonzalez and company, they have to win here to keep that title open to Indianapolis. The other 2 championships, very tight indeed, just 2 points separating those guys.
Yeah, wide open, and we'll talk more about those as we go throughout the course of the show. The job for Kevin Cook and Kevin Boehm, it got a little bit easier. Unfortunately, we've had to announce the withdrawal of number 77 VPX Racing Porsche. They had an accident late in race 2 yesterday. That takes one more competitor out of the mix and means the minimum score now for the 97 has gone up about 2 points, right?
It has. Essentially, the minimum score will be P6, but if the 68 car should win today, the 97 cars have finished top 4. That would seal the deal, but still a lot of racing to go here.
Exactly so. Front row of the grid features a couple of cars that really haven't factored at the front yet this weekend. Michael Cooper scored the overall pole. He'll have the former IndyCar driver Matthias Leist alongside on the front row. That's a McLaren and a Porsche in the Pro-Am class. Then you get back to the front runners in silver. Tyler Gonzalez very much in that championship conversation, trying to keep it alive. He'll have Matt Siljehaug starting alongside. Siljehaug and his co-driver Nikolai Elganigan were on the podium just yesterday. Down there amongst the cars is the third member of the team, and that is, of course, Amanda Busick.
Well, I certainly don't like to add anything that has anything with points implications, but Kevin Boehm and you guys have said it is most likely a championship day for you guys. And Kevin, with that, waiting for you on the back side of that, is it added pressure or are you relaxed today?
In a lot of ways, we're just treating this as another race. I think for our perspective, it's we still have 3 more races in the season and we want to close it out.
Apologies for that. Unfortunately, can't hear from Kevin, but he's pretty relaxed, it would appear, in his disposition there on the grid. In some respects, having a lead like this, yeah, you know you can clinch it today, but you also know even a bad day, and you're still in firm control going into the final 2 races.
Absolutely. I think they've just got to keep doing what they're doing. They've had 7 wins this year. That is remarkable with the level of competition in that silver class. So they've just got to continue to do what they've been doing all year long, executing at the highest level. I mean, Kevin's done a tremendous job. His teammate Kenton Cooks, we said yesterday, he's raised his own personal bar in terms of his performances. His racecraft is just at another level right now in terms of getting those wins. So he'll start the race today. There's a lot of talent there in that front 6 or 7 on the grid.
Yeah, Kevin driving at an incredibly high level, going for 2 championships this year in GT World Challenge as well as GT4 America alone, plus a program at IMSA where he's an outside contender for a title there too. So driving at a great level, but so is Kevin, who is a multi-time touring car champion and really illustrates the pathway from club level racing, where he's been a national champion, all the way into GT racing. It's a really fun story, and they're looking to cap it off here with the title today in Pirelli GT4 America. I'd have a chance to hear from Amanda once again. Apologies for the issues earlier. Let's give it a try a second time, and hopefully the second time's the charm.
And Kevin, you were just telling us that you're going to treat this race as any other, but why is this just a testament to what you guys have achieved already this season?
Well, I mean, I think it's just it shows how we as a team have really come together and just executed this whole season. I mean, we've just not given away any points. We tried to win when we could, and we finished as high as we could when we couldn't. And I think that's the reason why we don't want to treat this any different, because we know what we've been doing is working. So hopefully we have another shot at a good finish today. But in the end, after the day's finished, then we'll look and see what we accomplished, and then just start looking forward to Indy in the next year.
This would be just an additional championship that you already hold within the SRO paddock. What has this series meant to you, Kevin?
Well, I mean, it's a dream come true to even be here, to be honest. I can remember back to 2020, my kind of turning my first laps in SRO in a TCA Civic, and it's been a wild ride to look 5 years later, a couple championships, another one right on our fingertips. It's just Cinderella story, if you ask me.
It's been a joy to watch. Well done.
Thanks.
I'd agree, Cinderella story indeed, and goes to show what you can do when opportunity and talent coincide the way it has for Kevin. Here are the pole sitters in the respective classes. In the silver class, Tyler Gonzalez and Gresham Wagner will take class pole. They'll start third overall. Michael Cooper on the overall pole for Black Dog Speed Shop. He shares his McLaren with Tony Gaples. And in the M class, Paul Sparta and Darius Trinka, winners earlier this weekend, but some drama yesterday that we can talk about as we go along. Looked like it was at least a 2-win weekend for them, but unfortunately lost race win number 2. More on that story as we progress. Here's the starting grid on pole. As mentioned, it is Michael Cooper. He'll have Mateus laced alongside in the NOLA Sport Porsche. Row 2, Tyler Gonzalez, the Rafa Racing Team Supra, alongside Matt Siljahaug for Marco Polo Motorsports. Third row belongs to Kenton Cook, trying to clinch a title today. Braden Arthur will start to his flank in 6th. Row 4, expected to see the 77. That car's been withdrawn after a crash yesterday, so it'll be Newdorf all alone in row number 4. 5th row, Tyler McQuarrie and Matt Million, a couple of BMWs. Row number 6, it's Josh Green. He's in the championship mix in the Pro-Am class. Max Hewitt starts next to him for Vanderster Racing in a car that's been really quick this weekend. Darius Trinka on the pole for Random Vandals in the M class. Kurt Swearingen has won back-to-back races here this weekend. Alan Patton starts 15th for Thunder Bunny, and Charlie Postins will start in 16th. To the 9th row, that's where you'll find Kenny Schmid and Alex Vogel in a Supra and a McLaren. Denny Stripling starts the Fast Track Racing machine back in 19th next to Eddie Killeen from Dome Motorsport. Then in row 11, it's Alex Garcia for the Skip Barber Racing Team next to Hannah Greenmeyer from the Heart of Racing Team, and Dan Seville will start out back for ACI Motorsports. That's the field as we get ready to get the third race of the weekend underway. It's been a busy one for these teams, trying to pack 3 of these 1-hour sprints into an already crammed schedule.
Yeah, pretty feisty front row here. Cooper and Lace, they're going to duke it out, I feel, down into turn 1 there to try and grab the lead early.
It's a great track, 2.3 miles, 17 turns around this place, tons of elevation change, a beautiful bit of scenery around the racetrack too, but the focus now is on what happens between the white lines. On the front row, Michael Cooper in the black and orange McLaren. Mateus Laced, chomping at the bit, getting ready to go. He starts to the outside, waiting for that green flag, and there it is. We are racing. Race number 3 of the weekend at Barber Motorsports Park. Great getaway by the pole sitter Michael Cooper. Laced will slot in behind, followed by Tyler Gonzalez and Matt Siljahaug.
Really tight there, Kenton Cook has to go on the outside. The red and white car, the orange and white car there for Random Vandals, trying to tuck back in with the JMF car of Brandon Arthur.
I want to take no risks here. Just a solid result could be enough to clinch a title, regardless of what Tyler Gonzalez does. Here comes the field into turn 5. On the attack right away is Kenton Cook to the inside of the 3 car, able to take that spot away, a quarter exit. Or is that in defense?
I think that's in defense. I think it was the other car that had the jump on him, and Kenton just took that inside line, but looks like Newdorf's got a big run there and sweeps around the outside of Kenton Cook. We said yesterday, very rarely do we see him pass. It was by the sister car yesterday. Newdorf on the attack early.
Well, today Kenton wanting to be extra cautious, thinking big picture, of course, and he'll drop back into the 5th position. Right now, he has Matt Million tucked up behind him, having a solid run in 3rd here in the early going. Good qualifying effort. Good battle breaking out here. Cars in different classes, with Charlie Poston starting to breathe down the neck of Kurt Swearingen. Swearingen a little bit wide. That might open the door. Meanwhile, up front, good battle breaking out here as well. Max Hewitt coming under pressure.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent in that group. Max Million in the fight there as well in the 53 Autotechnic Racing BMW. Middle of that is Josh Green. He is now the championship leader in the Pro-Am division, so he needs a solid day. He is really tight. Just a couple of points separating the Pro-Am and Am leaders in their respective classes.
Yeah, it really couldn't be tighter, could it, in those two? two classes, two categories. Should make for a lot of fun as we go deeper into this season. Gonzalez now ahead of Lace. So is Celia Haug, as Mateus Lace did some trouble here. He's just dropped a couple of spots.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He's got a problem. Technical issue. Maybe right front is down.
Oh, and it gets really tight there at the exit of the corner, and is that Postins who spun? Wow.
Get tagged there. The harder racing machine in the backdrop. I'm not sure. Greenmeyer was running right behind him. I'm not sure if Charlie got turned there in the apex area.
He's in the middle of a championship bid. He and James Clay looking for their third title in 4 years. But that is a setback, no question about it.
Tell you what, Cooper's just taken off to the good by over 2 seconds already early in this race.
Had a brief chat with Michael this morning, and lamenting the misfortune that they had in the first race of the weekend, which was a makeup from a rain-affected weekend at Road America. They were caught out by the timing of a yellow inside of the pit window, ended up getting caught a lap down and never could quite recover. They pitted earlier than they would have liked to yesterday to cover for that contingency, and it left them on the back foot strategically when a yellow didn't come out. So they're just hoping for a straightforward day today with the car out front and showing good pace.
Yeah, when you got a fast race car, you don't want any curveballs, right, in terms of the weather, yellows, things like that. So right now he's doing what he needs to do, try and build as big a gap, hope for a green flag run here so we can turn it over to Tony Gaples. There's still an outside chance of this championship, but certainly the first two races this weekend haven't helped their cause.
And they came in very much in the conversation in Pro-Am, but finishes a 5th and 6th in the 2 races so far, when some of their championship rivals have had good weekends. Has set them quite a bit adrift, and it was a right front down, Cal, you're spot on, for Mateus Lace, who has limped his way back to the pit lane. But this is so frustrating for this team, which has shown good speed all year long and has nary a result to show for it.
Yeah, you wonder if he just had some argy-bargy there, maybe cut down a sidewall or something. There's damage to the front splitter. That's probably after the puncture where the car's just low on that right front corner.
Remarkably, their best finish this season was in the season opener, very first race of the year, where they finished 4th. Had the fastest lap of the race in that one. And since then, they've had poles, they've run at the front, but just have not been able to muster some of the magic that they had on display last year when Laced and Michael Oriema won a couple of races.
Yeah, it's so hard to win at this level. In this championship, there's such fierce battles all the way through. That's what makes the performance of the 97 squad of Kenton Cook and Kevin Bohm with 7 victories. I mean, that is just craziness, how tough it is to win a race.
Michael Cooper leads now by 2.2 seconds. Tyler Gonzalez leading in silver. That's what he needs to do, irrespective of the 97's position. As long as Gonzalez wins, he'll know they've done everything in their power to try and keep the championship on ice headed into Indianapolis.
Absolutely. That's all you can do, is just focus forward and hope to run the tables a little bit, but obviously they're up against it now. Only 1 win on the championship season despite tremendous performance.
Yeah, and that was in that 3-hour endurance race at Circuit of the Americas. They've struggled relatively to put the results together in these 1-hour sprints, despite, as you say, showcasing really strong speed over the course of the season. It's been a fun lineup to watch. Tyler Gonzalez and Gresham Wagner, who won the first 2 Toyota GR Cup championships, they get paired together, and they've just welcomed into that club young Weston Workman. Just moments ago, right before this race, he clinched the title in the 3rd year of that single-make Toyota championship, and well-deserved.
Oh, just an amazing performance. I think he's on the podium every single race, and just a dominant year, despite the strong competition around him.
Took him until Sebring, midpoint of the season, to win his first race in the series, having been a fixture on the podium all year long, but finally broke through, and as soon as he did, the floodgates opened up, and he's opened up an insurmountable lead now with still 2 races to go in the series. And you know Toyota has taken a keen interest in his talent in the same way they have with Gonzalez and with Wagner, helping to promote them to the next step, the next rung on the ladder, which is Pirelli GT4 America.
Gonzalez, a good run here, running 2nd overall. Cooper leads out front in Pro-Am, just laid down the fastest lap of the race, 29.4. Most importantly, he's got an 8.5-second gap back to the 2nd place car, which is Matt Million. Shares that car with Tyler Stone, the local driver here. They're running in P2, but 8th overall, so he's continuing to build that gap, and They're just looking for a good, clean race. Green flag, this will really give them a great opportunity to maybe get this McLaren to victory lane.
Mentioned Matt Milligan and Tyler Stone. Had a solid, if not spectacular, weekend so far. Finishes at 4th in both of the races to this point. And you know this is a special one for Tyler, racing on home turf. He's got a lot of friends and family out at the track. Actually, when we chatted with him, he lamented a little bit the fact he's been pulled in so many different directions. He's trying to keep his guests and his family occupied and happy, but also concentrate on the job at hand. There's Gresham Wagner.
Anthony Girazzi just to his flank there. Both drivers very much thinking championship today. Girazzi certainly got a much stronger potential. Only 2 points back now in their championship fight.
Right, and they thought leaving the track yesterday that they were 6 points out of the lead, but as we hinted, the Paul Sparta Darius Trinka car lost the win that they had on the road yesterday, and it's a bit of a arcane issue that they had, a bit difficult to describe, but effectively they had a piece of the electronic component in that machine that needed to be replaced after qualifying, and that component effectively holds all of the information regarding power delivery. There's different settings that these GT4 cars can have, and when they changed that part out, the new part was still programmed for the COTA power settings, which were greater than what was allowed for this particular weekend with the BOP. Paul Sparta, the team boss, threw his hands up and said, yep, you know what, that was our mistake. We've changed our process now because we understand what happened and it won't happen again. But frustrating for them to lose the win. But on the other hand, it promoted Girazzi and his teammate Kenny Speed to the win of the race yesterday and gave them 4 more points in that championship.
Yeah, and you may question why didn't they lose the win the first race of the weekend. Well, qualifying actually happened after that makeup race here on Friday, so they had the correct part in for the first race of the weekend, that makeup race from Road America.
Right, and the grid for that was set at Road America, as we talked about on that day. A bit of a quirk there with the grid set by a qualifying session that happened several weeks ago and at a completely different racetrack, but that's the way it goes sometimes when Mother Nature intervenes. Right now, Darius Trinka having a really solid day, running 10th overall, looking to bring them back to victory lane. Giving chase is this car here. Alan Patton sits 2nd in the AM Clash. They've had a bit of a turbulent weekend, let's say. They've been fast, but haven't had the results.
Yeah, I think Patton was pretty aggressive yesterday, particularly when he was a lap down. I think that got the attention of many of his competitors in this field. He's a super fast but very aggressive driver, and I think if he just tones it down a little bit, he won't get involved in some of these penalties that have been coming his way. But certainly great to see this Thunder Bunny racing team make the switch from the Supra over to this BMW, and that really was just a seamless transition in terms of their on-track performance.
Just behind, that's where Kurt Swearingen runs, shown in 4th right now, paired with Riley Dickinson. What a run of form they're on with ACI Motorsports.
Yeah, they've thrown themselves right back into championship contention. Coming into this round with a pair of victories already this weekend, they're only 7 points back of the lead, and the game is definitely on.
3 straight wins, including an overall win yesterday, which Kurt was absolutely over the moon about, getting the chance to take the overall victory for the first time. Further down the order, watching Eddie Killeen here, 21st overall. Co-driver is Mark Miller. This team has big, big plans looking ahead to the future. Let's hear about him now. Mark Miller is with Amanda.
Yeah, Ryan, and he's got his race suit on ready to take over from Eddie here in a little bit. But Mark, expanding operations for you guys. Should see a two-car effort at Indianapolis, maybe 3 cars next season. What's going on with Dome Motorsports?
Well, you know, led by Eddie Killeen, is he wanted to come in a big way. Kelly Brown's managing our program, and we've got a great group of guys that are working behind the scenes to put this beautiful AMG on track. Eddie's near and dear relationship with the Junaid Family Foundation has been a big driving force for him. So you see that iconic looking multicolored livery was all his doing, and it really is attractive on track. But the goal for us is to put more cars on the grid. We have 3 AMGs in the lineup. two that we'd like to put together for Indy. Right now we're targeting a silver lineup for Indy and hopefully an AM car as well. So we're open to discussions for a lot of different people, but we've been talking to several people and we're hoping to do that. And we'd also like to expand into a 3-car effort next year. Eddie needs more seat time. He's out there. We're dealing with a little bit of an issue right now. He's managing it well, but I'm hopefully here in about 10 minutes I'll be able to figure out what it is and see if we can get back into the fight.
Thank you, Mark. And guys, he kind of covered my second question there on Junaid and that beautiful livery. Junaid is a charity organization that supports impoverished families in Pakistan.
Yeah, really, really cool. And great initiative. Great to hear as well the plans for expanding that program, looking ahead to even as soon as Indianapolis and certainly looking at next year.
Yeah, great group, got a lot of great key personnel there, so they're going to be fighting for podiums on a regular basis. From that gap, Black Dog Racing team, 3 seconds over Gonzalez. More importantly, now an almost 12-second gap over the second place runner in Pro-Am. So this race has got a nice rhythm to it. Cars is kind of spaced out a little bit, and that's exactly what the leader wants to see. Not too much confrontation going on throughout the field, which may necessitate a safety car being brought out and eliminating that gap that they've built early in this race.
Cooper's lead is 3.2 seconds over this car, Tyler Gonzalez, which continues to lead in silver, but Michael Cooper now leading by 12.3 seconds over the next car in his class. It's Matt Billion down in 8th overall. A couple of positions back in the overall order is where Darius Trinka runs. Currently leading in the AM class in a solid 10th overall. Right now playing tail gunner for Josh Green, his teammate. That's in the Pro-Am entry for Random Vandals. That's finished second in each of the races so far the weekend. We mentioned the hometown guy, Tyler Stone. He's waiting for his chance to climb aboard. Right now, it's Matt Million doing the driving, but when we talk about this paddock, there's so many great causes that are supported by the different teams, and another one worth highlighting is actually on this car. It's called On River Time, which uses fly fishing and other outdoor activities to interrupt the cycle of child abuse and neglect, change the trajectory of kids from vulnerable communities' lives. And something very special to Tyler Stone, who's right there watching on. They actually have a QR code on the car, so the fans here this week can scan it, learn more about the organization. It's the first time they've ever been involved in anything in motorsports, and it sounds like they've really enjoyed it. But over the years, they've held camps free of charge for kids 12 to 18 years old. There's also a scholarship component to it as well. You can find out more at onrivertime.org, but really, really cool initiative.
Yeah, it's a great program, certainly that's near and dear to Tyler and his family.
And right now, Matt Million doing a really good job. They have not finished on the podium yet this year, if I'm not mistaken. They've been close a few times. As I mentioned, 4th in 2 races already this weekend. Feels like they're right there knocking on the door, and maybe this is the day they get it done.
Yeah, and I think young Matt Million is a tremendous talent. Really found a great home here. Oh, opened up the door there a little bit too much. Not sure if he just overshot his entry speed at turn 2, but Josh Green, who runs 3rd in the class right now and the championship leader, was looking for an opportunity there to nip by.
Yeah, 2 really impressive young up-and-comers in BMWs. Should correct myself, they did have 1 podium. It was race 2 in Sonoma really early in the season, second race of the year. But I think in this fight here between these 2 BMW drivers, you're looking at 2 of the up-and-comers, Matt Million, Josh Green, both teams extremely high on these young guys.
Yeah, absolutely. The team bosses love the talent that they've got underneath them and driving their race cars. So be cool to see where those names may be in another 2 or 3 seasons.
Same could be said for the driver they're chasing, Max Hewitt. Shares that car with Luca Bars. Looking at race vision powered by AWS. Top speeds. 4 cars have clocked in at 130 miles per hour so far. It's only about 10 miles an hour slower than the GT3 cars that you'll see later today in GT World Challenge America.
Yeah, and I think that top speed has reached on the approach to turn 12 there, down that back stretch, really wide open. This racetrack's not all about top speed. We certainly hit much higher terminal speeds at tracks like Road America, but it's the cornering and the braking load and the constant change of direction around this circuit that is really the challenge here.
I think maybe the next 2 races at Indy, you'll see some of the top speeds, some of the highest top speeds we'll see all year long. It's a long front straightaway at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, much flatter racetrack too, much different challenge than what we see here at Barber.
Really impressive how this new Pirelli P0 has hung on here at a racetrack that is regarded as a little bit high in terms of tire degradation, but you do have the option this weekend with the fact that the teams are still learning this new tire to have a joker tire, as we call it. You are able to change one single tire during the mandatory pit stop window. We just saw a few takers on that over the last couple of rounds, Ryan.
Yeah, it's interesting because there has been talk about this being an abrasive surface and tire wear being something that needs to be monitored. But not every team has elected to make that change. I suppose when you add something like that into a pit stop, it just introduces more variables, another chance for something to go amiss. But and if you feel like the performance of the car is fine, why take any added risk?
Yeah, saw Garcia's there. Car there really rocking and rolling there as he clipped the curb and just took a while to settle down. He takes a poke down the inside. Looking at Kenny Schmid, this is a battle for P3 in the AM class. Yeah,
and Schmid is in that championship hunt after getting promoted to the win yesterday. Sits down in 3rd right now, but is tops of any of the front-running cars in that class, given the issues for Charlie Postins, if you remember, on the opening lap.
Give a shout out to Alex Vogel here, sitting there right behind this group, 6th in Pro-Am. His fastest lap is only a second off the fastest lap of the day. That is a massive, massive progress in terms of his speed over the last couple of seasons. He's really feeling and finding his feet right now.
Really good shout. That car has been rapid all race weekend. Oh, a little deep there into turn 5, but Matt Bell was on the overall pole yesterday, his teammate. So you know the car is sorted. An OMS team has been operating the car this year. They continue to make a step forward week in and week out. Best finish 5th a couple of times over the course of 2025.
Holt there, Stripling behind the wheel right now, Holt came into this weekend very much in the championship frame, but 2 disasters, got taken out through one of these high-speed chicanes by competitor in day 1. It was actually this car that sits behind the Stripling right now is the 36 with James Clay behind the wheel when they got together. Just a kind of a miscommunication, I'd call it. I mean, the yellow car slowed down a little bit and James basically ran into him and just turned him, unfortunately, and then they had drama in race 2 here yesterday as well.
That's a shame. Again, his teammate Judson Holt was harboring championship aspirations coming into the weekend, but finishes of 6th. Well, not even finishes. They weren't classified as finishers. Still did score the 6th place points. But in the first 2 weekends, that's really set them adrift. Back to Cooper, though. This is dominance right now. 4.8 seconds, his gap to Tyler Gonzalez. There's Tony Gaples waiting for his chance.
He's loving what he's seeing, certainly. I think they'll be frustrated coming into this morning. Thought they'd be nip and tuck in the championship, but there's still 75 points on the table. If they could run those tables between now and the end of the season, who knows how they'll finish up.
And doing all they can at the moment with that car in a commanding lead, 17 seconds ahead of the next car in the class. It's going to be Tony's job to try and manage that in the second half of the race.
Close here to when the pit stop window opens. 36 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock left to go would be the point where someone could hit pit lane, do the minimum stop time of 85 and not be delayed in either way. So we're just over 3 minutes away from that moment in the race, and certainly all of the AM drivers or drivers with a little bit less speed than their teammate will probably be hitting pit lane and switching over at that point.
Nikolai Elgani and Matt Siljahaug sharing the Marco Polo Motorsports Toyota Supra here this year.
A couple of podiums there coming off, one at Road America, one here yesterday, so starting to find their form.
Yeah, didn't see them at Sebring. Team kind of taking a moment to regroup, but they've come back strong. They had 2 podiums in the last 3 races. In fact, their 3 best finishes of the season have been in the last 3 races, so hitting their stride right when you want to.
It looks like they can really attack that big curb through there. Just floats that nicely. We saw Gonzalez yesterday absolutely murdering these curbs.
Yeah, you wondered if the car could withstand it for however long Tyler was in the car, but evidently it could. He was doing absolutely everything. Ultimately, a little too much contact. It was a bang-bang situation as he was trying to pass Max Hewitt to keep pace with Kenton Cook late in that race, right? And just a little too much side-to-side contact led to a drive-through penalty, which proved crippling, frankly, for their title hopes. It left them in a big, big hole.
Say, this is the quietest race I've seen from Kenton Cook in about a year. Just lost some positions early, seems to be quite content sitting back there. As he runs right now, it would not be enough to clinch the championship here today. They'd be awfully close to it, but with the 68 car out win, if they win, Kenton and Kevin need to finish in the top 4 to seal it today. They're running in 5th, but he seems to be in a mode where he's just out there to score some points rather than go on full attack.
Yeah, especially knowing that basically they're at a point where as long as they start both races in Indianapolis, depending on if new injuries should emerge, then they've got it pretty much under control. You'd love to have it done and dusted before, but that's a pretty low bar to clear, frankly. I think they would feel quite comfortable.
Yeah, as Paul Sparta told us about an hour ago, we do intend to show up at Indy, so I don't think it's an issue.
No. But at least for now, Gonzalez doing what he needs to do to keep the conversation going, if nothing else.
Here's the first of the pit stops. 36 minutes and change on the board. Pit window opens.
Braden Arthur will give way to Mike David Ortman, who has been super quick here this weekend. Excuse me, not sure what I missed there, Cal. Feel free to correct me.
I think it's Newdorf is in the pit lane.
I see both, I think.
Okay, you're right.
Both of the JMF cars. They look identical, so it doesn't do us any favors, but here they go. Arthur out, Ortman in. And we've got Newdorf and Jesse Webb. What a weekend it's been for Jonathan Newdorf, especially in TC America. 3 wins here this weekend.
Yeah, just amazing. The progress for that Toyota program in the touring car ranks. Certainly the Hyundais have been pegged back a little bit, but certainly makes it fascinating to watch now. Vogel, great job here.
Yeah.
Matt Bell was sensational here yesterday with his speed.
Yeah.
Gets ready to jump in. Plenty of time to work with that extra few seconds being given to teams who do elect to change that single tire. So it's a leisurely driver change.
Yeah, the time is the same regardless of if you change that tire or not, just to make sure that's clear. It is an extra 5 seconds for everyone, but that is to give the opportunity to take the Joker tire if you want to. Michael Cooper will not pit, and I suspect he'll stay out as long as he possibly can.
And there you can see with an 85-second minimum stop time, you almost go down a lap. Certainly he's right between the 2 JMF cars, so the 4 car is now out there with Waltman behind the wheel. Jesse Webb aboard the 3 car, comes out a lap down essentially, but that will cycle back once they hit pit lane for the 33.
Here's the Vanderster team. They call Max Hewitt in. It'll be Luca Mars to climb aboard. ACI Motorsports brings Dan Seville in. The Dutchman Luke Hartog, who has been really quick this weekend, is in that car now. Here comes Matt Bell. Just watch this. McLaren in the second half of the race. This has been one of, if not the fastest cars in Pirelli GT4 America this weekend. Testing, qualifying, the races. But Matt Bell's been in this thing. It has been rapid.
Yeah, it really has. And if they should get a yellow and compress this field, Could be game on for a podium run here for Matt Bell. He's certainly got the pace to make it happen.
It's been a tough weekend for the Heart of Racing here at Barber. They had a technical problem in qualifying, which meant they didn't set times, so they've had to come from the back in both of the scheduled races at Barber, and didn't have much luck in the makeup race either, if memory serves. That was held on Friday. Dickinson waiting to go. The Hannas, Grisham, and Greenmeyer driver change complete. Cooper, Gonzalez, Silliahoud, Cook, Millian, Green, they've all stayed out, as has Darius Trinka. Really everybody inside of the top 12 has yet to pit.
And you're going to roll the dice a little bit with those pros on board like Michael Cooper, try and maximize his drive time. So just to put it in perspective, when there's 25 minutes or less on the board, you better have been in pit lane, otherwise you're going to serve a penalty.
Still a little bit of time to go for those front runners until they must make that call, but their time behind the wheel is starting to tick to a close. There's Matt Bell around Laura Hayes. Oh, Matt, all the way out to the exit of turn 6 and up and over the curb. Excuse me, it's Alan Patton in that car now.
Yeah, they're yet to pit, I believe. Patton has stayed out there since the green flag. The 8 car. Darius Trinka. We talk about super silvers. What are we going to call him? A brilliant bronze or something?
I love it. Yes. I was looking for the alliteration, and you found it. Yeah, he's been awesome. Whoa! That was a save and a half.
What a save. What a save. I thought that was gone. That was amazing.
Right, as we start talking about him, and
Goes
he's
back
still
racing.
side by side. Yeah, undeterred, fighting with Tyler McQuarrie, who's absolutely no slouch himself.
Yeah, and he's in the middle of a championship. He doesn't need to be embroiled in this little battle.
Looking inside, looking outside, anxious to get by Tyler McQuarrie. He'll want to make quick work of the out-of-class car if he can, and now he goes for a slide.
That was wild. Drifting into the apex for turn 2 as Tyler McQuarrie thinking about a championship. He said, can you believe, we bumped into him a short while ago, he said, can you believe this championship is going to go down to Indianapolis once again?
It seems like every year that's the case, and they've been in the hunt in previous years too. Let's look at this again. Just a little bit wide in the big
right
bump.
there, I thought it was gone.
Totally. Great work though, quick hands by Darius Trinka for Random Vandals.
Well, they're looking to grab the checkered flag for the 3rd time this weekend. We obviously documented the fact they lost the win here yesterday due to that technical problem.
Team car is in the pits. Josh Green, Sam Craven. So Sam climbs in. Had 2 second-place finishes this weekend, and it's made some headway for them in the point standings.
Yeah, gained 6 points. The 82 is P3s have they had in a row? Is it 4 or 5, something like that?
I'll tell you in just a second.
Seem to be locked into that, but most importantly, the 94 car beating the championship leaders coming into the weekend twice, have leapfrogged them over the 82 car in the points.
5 straight third-place finishes for the combination of Walker and McQuarrie.
You need to break that. It sounds great. I mean, Tyler McQuarrie was joking with race director Brian Till, saying, you just said finish P4 every race, that'll win you a championship. Don't get too aggressive. He said, we keep finishing P3 and losing ground. So you got to change that mantra a little bit.
A little. That's the nature of it. And they've been runners-up in the past. As recently as 2023.
It's not great for Cooper here.
No.
Not that the car in front of him is a slouch, but he just wanted to keep that clean air on the McLaren all the way to his pit stop, which is coming up probably in a couple of laps. I think he could squeeze 2 more out of it before being outside of the regulations.
Orban's been really fast though this weekend. Once he gets his tires up to temperature, once he gets into his rhythm, I don't know how much he'll be holding Michael up, but for the moment it does look like he is. Fastest lap of the race belongs to Matt Bell. Wow. 129.278.
That is impressive. That beats Cooper's 29.4.
It's done on half a race old tires too. Remember, no tire changes typically. Maybe they put one tire on because of that new rule. Here comes Kent and Cook. They can't do another lap, or at least they don't want to risk it. So they bring Kenton in. I think a risk-averse strategy is a smart one given the situation.
Yeah, I think they could have probably done at least 2 more.
Okay.
Looking at 130 laps, so it's about 3 minutes for 2 laps. So yeah, but either way, just playing nice and conservative today. Thinking of the big picture, no risk. I think that's the quietest race we've seen from Kent and Cook.
Yep.
Quite some time.
See, they will change the left front on the 97. Give Kevin at least one fresh P0 to lean on. Thunder Bunny making that same change. Now it will be Laura Hayes getting in. At 11th place, 10th place overall qualifying effort earlier this weekend. Really, really strong.
Yeah, they had some great performances here this weekend. Had that flat tire that really cost them dearly yesterday when they were in great shape, leading the race.
Waiting to see where this will cycle out. Michael Cooper, the overall leader, will come through and at least temporarily trap them a lap down. But remember, he still owes his stop. They're going to push him one more lap if they can.
Yeah, I think they're okay. On the right side of that, they should have about 30 seconds buffer by the time he hits pit lane.
Comes Kevin Bohm getting up to speed.
Great combination. Just 2 drivers who are so smart, so intelligent, understand the race cars so well from an engineering perspective and setups, obviously. And they like the same car. That's what Kevin and Ken talk about. We like the same stuff, and that is a great combination to have. You don't want drivers teamed together who like something different from the race car. Otherwise, one or both of you are certainly compromising.
They've not finished off the podium in any of the 1-hour races this year. The only
looking at the points, their lowest points total is 18. Because the time they did finish off the podium,
that's right,
it was a double point weekend. So
good point. Yeah, 5th place at Circuit of the Americas, but double points for that endurance round. Not a bad season when you're scoring 2nd place normal points at least in every single round.
Cooper's going to be firing into pit lane right now.
There he comes.
That may have cost him a second or 2 there, running behind the JMF car, because I think he had really great pace. I mean, they have found the sweet spot, Black Duck Speed Shop, and this McLaren this weekend.
His lead, 24 seconds over Matt Billion, who still owes his stop as well. He should be coming to the pit lane any moment. Now we'll see where it shakes out. Tyler McQuarrie could be the best placed. If it's not him, it would be Sam Craven of those that have made their stops already. Big moments here for Black Duck Speed Shop. Ray Sorensen beckons the car into the pits. Tony Gaples about to climb in, the veteran campaigner out of Chicago.
Tony loves his racing. He's renowned as not the best qualifier, great racer, but he's certainly got his qualifying performance up over the last couple of years and continues to get the job done. Takes his racing very seriously these days. He's in full fitness mode. Watches his diet and his routine coming into race weekends, kind of backs off on everything, getting prepared for these races, which is really what it takes to compete at the highest level.
And he's driven a bunch of different cars over the past half decade or so, but really has found this McLaren Artura to be enjoyable to drive. Driver change complete in plenty of time, it would appear. Car down and away.
That was an awesome stint by Michael Cooper.
Yeah.
Just got the jump at the start, literally timed that to perfection to leap away from Matthias Leist, and then just took off, never looked back.
Waiting to see where the rest of the field will cycle through, but looks like Tony should inherit a pretty big lead. Meanwhile, in the background, I think that could have been Elganian. No, that was either Seville or Hartog. It is Hartog, and that car's got a problem.
It does. Right front may be down.
Oh.
Wonder if he lost the right front, and that's why he kind of understeered off the road, or whether going off the road, he just kind of pulled the tire back from the rim a little bit.
And it's the second Porsche we've seen, although the first one happened really early with Matthias Leist, so it's probably unrelated. Speaking of Leist, he's in the pits now. Final driver change about to take place. It's a real shame for Hartog, who again has been rapid here this weekend.
And we don't need any yellows. If you're Black Dog Speed Shop, you just want this race to stay green. Look at the debris on the front straight. I wonder if that's from the Porsche went off there and then had a problem going in the next corner as we go full course yellow.
Oh, this is not what Tony Gaples and Black Dog wanted to see. This erases that huge lead they had, 24 seconds over the next car in the class.
Fortunately for them, there's a bunch of silver cars between Tony Gaples and the next Pro-Am runner, which is the local driver Tyler Stone. So puts two of the big championship contenders, well, all three actually, nose to tail, with James Walker Jr. currently holding down third in class. They're running second in the points coming in the weekend. The championship leaders right behind them. And the team that's been on the march of late, ACI Motorsports, Riley Dickinson, the pro in that combination as they run the alternate strategy to the rest of the teams. He's going to be in great shape here.
That's what I was thinking too as soon as I saw it. That team with the strategy they're running, the driver choice that they're making. Riley Dickinson could be one to watch when we restart the race. Let's take a moment under the full course yellow to check in once again with Amanda.
Yeah, we were right down by Black Dog Racing when that yellow came out, and a big shake of the head for Michael Cooper. I'm not sure you could have possibly given that McLaren over to Tony in a better shape. What now?
What now is we got to survive this yellow. It's really unfortunate timing for these Black Dog Racing guys. You know, everyone did a fantastic job so far this weekend. We've been super quick. You know, this track doesn't have a lot of long straights. This is where we generally struggle. So, you know, for one of the first times this year, we're really showing what we're capable of with this McLaren. So, you know, I know Tony will give him hell on this restart, but it's a lot of fast cars and fast drivers behind, but I have faith in him.
It's like you timed the start of the race perfectly, got a great leap off of the start. How would you rank that one for yourself?
Well, you know what? I had my first GT3 pole here in 2016, and I won race 2, but I got schooled in race 1, and so I've never forgotten that, and it happened here, so it's definitely in the forefront of my mind how to do that start.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, thank you.
That would have been with the Cadillac?
Yeah. Wonder who schooled him.
I do too.
His teammate was Johnny O.
Yep.
So ran those Sprint X back then. What do we have when we had the endurance events?
That's correct.
We had the Taylor boys.
Yes.
Ricky and Jordan.
Yeah, part of that Cadillac team, weren't they? It's a pretty cool era of what was the Pirelli World Challenge, which is morphed into SRO America. Luke Hartog has found a safe place to pull off, and now he will climb out of the car. Sounds like he had a moment where he was wide.
I think that's the debris. I think that may be the debris on the front straightaway. I think he probably went wide through there and then got to turn 1 and had the flat right front or damage to the suspension even, possibly. That's a great shot there. You saw it momentarily, just the blind entry to turn 1. You're already turning before you see the apex there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super challenging. Look at it on paper. Paper, of course, is flat, and you look at that and think maybe this is a passing opportunity, but it's tough. It is tough. It's a faster corner than it appears as well at first blush, but one of the many challenging aspects of this Barber Motorsports Park facility. See if we can learn a little bit more about what might have happened to Luke Hartog.
There it is. Bit of a rough ride there, really wide, and I think he came down in this next corner just as Gaples is coming out of pit lane, and then realized nothing was at home on that right front.
It's been a tough year for Dan Seville, veteran of Porsche Sprint Challenge, making the jump up to Pirelli GT4 America. Best finish this season was a 4th. That was at Road America, the one race we had there. That hasn't quite been able to get up onto the podium just yet.
Just touching on that silver championship scenario, Gresham Wagner and Tyler Gonzalez doing exactly what they had to do today, win this race just to keep a sliver of hope there. But right now, we talked about Kenton Cook being a Relatively quiet performance by his standards in the opening phase of this race, but his teammate now has got that car up to P4, and that's enough. That should be enough to seal the deal before Indianapolis weekend. But still got 18 minutes racing.
That's right. Plenty can change, as we've seen over the course of the weekend. How about the other classes? So in Pro-Am, Sam Craven, points leader after yesterday, but only barely. Sits in 4th in class, just behind James Walker Jr., one of the drivers he's fighting, and then Riley Dickinson right behind in 5th. Could be pretty spicy here coming to the restart, which is now. There's the green, and immediately drivers weaving back and forth to try and bring the temperature back up in the tires. Big, bold move up the inside. Mike David Ortman and a spin. That's Elganian who goes around from the front of the field.
But importantly, as Kevin Bowman, he's got damage on that left front. Just had nowhere to go as the Marco Polo car was right in front of him. So our championship leader got some grief.
That is a clear tire up. Meanwhile, 3 wide in an off-track moment there. Is that Ortman or Webb? It's Ortman again, who's been roughed up on the restart here. Less smoke coming out of the 97 now, so maybe it's cleared itself. Have to keep an eye on it, but it's cost Kevin his spot. He's dropped down 6th overall, 5th in class.
That was a pretty crazy restart. Seemed like the back of the field really hadn't compressed. Maybe they weren't expecting it. There you see the drama when he's turning to the right. Maybe that left front tire is suddenly eating into that inner fender or something as he's got some steering input in the car.
Tony Gaples still leading in the Pro-Am class, but the cork in the bottle right now is there's a bunch of hungry drivers coming through, including Riley Dickinson, who has carved his way up to 2nd in Pro-Am on that restart and now is challenging for the lead. He goes around the outside of Gaples and he takes the top spot away.
Wow, looking for 3 on the bounce here this weekend as 97 car Kevin Bohm still struggles. Matt Bell looking for some options here. Does Bohm stay out? Just hopefully that tire doesn't get cut down. He has a bigger moment. Bell looking to get around the smoke screen in front of him.
He does clear it, or comes close at least. Will have the inside down into 1. Matt Bell very much in play to go for a race win here today for himself and Alex Vogel. He has 2nd place in the crosshairs with Gaples just ahead.
Turning left, it seems like the car's okay, but when he turns right, there you go once again. I think that left front corner's been pushed back, so when he turns the wheel to the right, the left edge of that tire is being forced into that inner fender.
How long do you feel comfortable leaving him out there, hoping it will clear itself?
I don't know, it's risky business, right? I mean, they got a bit of leeway in terms of the championship, basically in their hands going to Indianapolis, but if you want to clinch it today, you'd keep him out there, otherwise it's going to cost you big time coming down pit lane.
Gresham Wagner still leads. That keeps them in the conversation for the title. He's doing what he needs to do. The biggest help that Rand the Vandals can receive right now would be Jesse Webb, who is closing in on Wagner. If he makes the pass, all of these championship calculations go out the window.
Absolutely. The 68 car has to win. I'm with you. I think with Kevin Bowen, risk versus reward, he could damage that race car big time, hurt himself. I would bring the car in.
Well, let's hear what the Rand the Vandals team is thinking, Amanda.
Well, you'll see Alberto Pena holding the pit box sign for Kevin Boehm to bring that in. He was by the wall for Kevin's last stop by to check the assessment on the left front of that BMW. Too risky at this point to keep out. We will see Kevin momentarily.
Well, Kevin didn't get the message, or he chose to ignore it, one or the other. He stays out on track and will take that risk. He's up to 4th right now.
That puts him back into the picture. If he can finish 4th, that's enough. We've reiterated 68 wins, 97 has to finish P4. They're right there, but huge risk. Could send the car into the wall. Got a driver to think about at the same time.
Yeah, but it's so hard to give up that spot when you know if you could just finish right there, you win the championship here and now. The reason he got that position, by the way, Luca Mars slowed on track that last lap and has made his way into the pit lane. So a whole lot going on here.
See him really wide there through turn 5. Super wide. The real key is if that's hitting kind of the surface of the tire, probably not too bad, but if it gets into the sidewall, they're really vulnerable.
We'll monitor that, but we have had a change for the lead in AM. Laura Hayes has driven to the front around Paul Sparta, who now has his mirrors full of a hard-charging James Clay. Clay runs ahead of Michael Garcia. That's another car in class, whereas Gerasi, who's in the championship mix in AM, is quite a ways adrift of this battle. He's right at the tail end of the train in the white-nosed Supra.
Remember the makeup race here, the first race of the weekend here. We had the 36 car have a drive-through penalty. Charlie Poston's got turned around. They still ended up increasing their lead in the championship, potentially do the same thing here today with Charlie being turned earlier in this race.
And yellow brought them right back into the mix. We saw this car go for a spin on the restart. Nikolai Elganian, damage to the rear. Got that podium yesterday, and here comes Kevin Boehm. He will give up 4th place.
I think that's the wise move. You really can't risk your driver out there. You never know when it's going to cut down. He could go for a big ride here.
It's the safe call. It's probably the prudent call, but it takes them out of a position to clinch the title here today. It drops him down to 5th. Anna Grisham now up to 4th in the silver class entry for the Hardick Racing team.
Look how tight that fender was to that tire. My goodness.
I agreed with that, Amanda. That was definitely rubbing on the tire.
Yeah, there's no point in just throwing another tire at it. Yeah, you got a bit more meat on it potentially, but you really got to fix the issue.
Right.
I mean, getting back to the championship again, Gresham Wagner under pressure right now. Jesse Webb just a 2nd plus back. So if he drops to P2, that would still put the championship in the hands of the 97 before we go to Indy.
Good news for Boehm and company. They can't drop another spot. Luca Mars appears to have retired. Same for Elganian. So 5th place is the worst that they can do. Let's go back to this restart. Crucial moment in the season right here.
Yeah, there you see the JMF car get down to the inside, just elbows Elganian a little bit. Kevin Boehm had nowhere to go but get into the back of him. Team continues to go to work. Kevin just kind of work the steering to see where it's rubbing.
He'll drop a lap with 11 minutes, 37 seconds on the clock. Have not seen anything about that restart being reviewed either, for what it's worth. Here's the leader of the race, Gresham Wagner, now starting to leg out the advantage over Jesse Webb. 3rd car in line, that Mercedes, that's a lap down. That's Mark Miller trying to get back on the lead lap. Then Riley Dickinson, Sam Craven now coming through bottom of the screen. Tony Gaples, Tyler Stone, James Walker Jr. That's the top 9. Laura Hayes leads in AM, running 10th overall. Battle for the lead is on, though, in the Pro-Am class. Riley Dickinson and Kurt Swearingen trying to sweep the triple header here at Barber, but they're going to have to fend off Matt Bell to do it.
Well, as we said earlier in this race, if they catch a yellow, don't discount them for a podium, maybe more. Matt Bell is up on this wheel. He's got an absolute flying machine underneath him here. His teammate did an awesome job, Alex Vogel, running lap times within a second of the leaders. That kept them in the game, but this yellow has really brought Matt Bell right into contention here. Dickinson's going to have his hands full. He not only wants to sweep the weekend, but it could have been a huge championship push as well.
No question. Yeah, the 3 wins on the trot is what's brought them into the conversation at all at this stage in the season. There's Kevin Boehm taking consolation from Alberto Pena, team manager for Random Vandals. They will not finish the race. They'll score 5th place points, which means as long as Wagner can hang on and win this race, the championship will be on ice until Indianapolis.
Yeah, then they essentially 97 car just have to start one of those races. I think that would be enough, but certainly it tempers your enthusiasm a little bit between races.
We saw Kevin out of the car. Let's have a chance to hear from him now. Amanda is standing by.
Well, Kevin, as I said at the top of the race, I don't want to be anything on points implications. It does seem like it might be on ice until Indianapolis. I want your perspective on that restart.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see everything from the driver's seat there. So, I mean, there was a lot of moves trying to be made in turn 1 there, and I think there was some contact in front of me, and it turned the Supra kind of into the path I was already going. So I hate that I kind of took them off the track, but there was nothing I could do. I mean, the car got cut across my nose, and I was hoping the smoke that I saw was just some tire rub, but unfortunately it caught one of our radiators as well. So in the end, we still got our starting points, so it's not total loss here today, but definitely doesn't feel right when we watch the race still going from the sideline. So I hate it for the crew. They worked so hard to prep the car all week, and the car was going to be fastest into the race. We just didn't get a chance to show it today. So from here, we'll just prepare for Indy. We'll pick our heads up and pick up where we left off and look for that top step again there.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Just their second finish off the podium all season long, but they still have a very good chance to clinch race 1 in Indianapolis. Battle for Pro-Am honors right here, center screen. Riley Dickinson, ACI Motorsports Porsche. Matt Bell giving chase in the OMS McLaren.
He's just feeling Riley out right now, and Riley's going to have a problem. He's got that traffic up in front of him, so that may really stymie him being able to pick his lines here. Matt Bell tries to roll around the outside, just looking to get that flank, and he's got it, I think. I think he did a great enough job. They were power down to get alongside the Porsche. Riley's going to send it here into the brake zone. Can't do anything about Matt Bell in that McLaren. He is through and into the leading class.
Well, Riley has to think about points. Matt Bell does not. They're not part of that conversation, so no risk there. Yes, you lose out on maximum points, but you get to fight on another day in second place and ahead of your championship rivals. Still not a bad place to be.
Yeah, we saw Michael Cooper in a similar machine, obviously flying at the start of this race. Just seems like that McLaren, like Michael said, there's not a long, big straightaway here to deal with like at Road America or Indianapolis, so this is really in the sweet spot for that McLaren.
Looking here at Paul Sparta fighting with the Garcia brothers for third and fourth. Great opening stint from Darius Trinka. This yellow certainly has not played into their hands. Little damage at the back of that car as well. Maybe tightening up for the M class here. Hayes leads. That's the car you're looking at right there. Hannah Grisham out of class. That's a silver class car. But then 3 M class front runners, nose to tail behind. A little ways back, but closing in. The battle really might be with Hayes and James Clay.
I'll tell you what, though, Laura Hayes has been amazing this year. Just so impressive what she can do behind the wheel. Anna Grisham, obviously, we've known her abilities over the last 2 or 3 seasons. She's an amazing talent as well. Right behind them sits James Clay. Pretty good points day. Came in really tight, just a 2-point spread between the 36 and the 72, but right now Girazzi runs down in P6 in class. That's a big swing. 10-point swing potentially on the table as they run.
Massive. With just 2 races still to go this season. 6 minutes left in this race. 2 hours of racing after that in Indianapolis. And that is all here in 2025.
Matt Bell has that lead in class. Now he's got to deal with some out-of-class traffic. Puts it down to the inside of Jesse Webb.
Yeah.
He's going to give Ortman a run on his teammate here soon. It could be a JMF little battle here for P2 in the silver class pretty quickly.
Certainly could. McLaren, the meat and the Aston Martin sandwich right here. This is second, third, and fourth overall as well that we're watching. Wagner 5.7 seconds up the road. They're not going to go down without swinging, are they? That Rafa Racing team. Here comes Bell in the Artura up the inside. Indeed will take that position away from Webb. Not for class position though. That said, Webb's not done. He's going to fight back.
And his teammate is there just waiting in the wings to see how this one plays out. So yeah, Webb does force the issue. Maybe he wants to keep that buffer between he and his teammates so they don't have to duke it out and make the situation awkward.
And then there's that racer's pride as well, right? You never like to get past. Oh, he goes a little bit wide there in that quick switch back. Bell on the headlight flashers, but not enough muscle, not enough grunt to get alongside. Now closes in tight. Will he poke his nose here? A couple different approaches you could take through this section.
Oh, it's down into the next corner. I think he's going to fire it down the inside.
Right on cue. Matt Bell to the inside.
Watch Ortman. He's going to get a big run on his teammate here on that front straightaway.
Aston showing some legs, though, in a straight line as Webb is able to fight back. Draw even, maybe even nose ahead into one that, though, opens up the door for Ortman to come on the charge.
He's He's got to be so careful. It's an absolute no-no to have contact with your teammate. A really great relationship and chemistry that all of the JMF drivers have across the board, from their TC drivers through the GT4 drivers that we're looking at right now, up to their GT3 program with Mackay Stevens and Mikel Grenier. Very supportive of one another.
One ill-advised decision can
spoil that immediately.
It sure can. 3.5 minutes to go. Wagner all alone out in front. And they have been fighting all weekend long. They knew they were up against it. They've thrown some haymakers, just haven't got them to land yet. This one will, it would appear, but it comes perhaps too late. That said, they can at least go to Indy thinking, hey, you tell me there's a chance.
Absolutely. What a talented duo of drivers. Come up through the Toyota GR Cup ranks. Just a couple of champions teaming them together on paper. Look really impressive, and boy, they've performed at the highest level, but wins have not been easy. As you said earlier, Ryan won that 3-hour race at COTA earlier this year. This will be their first sprint race win of the season, if they're able to bring it home.
Well, this for Wagner was the opportunity he's been waiting for a really long time. So much success, so many wins and titles in single make racing, whether it was MX-5 Cup or Toyota GR Cup. He's won championships in both. Saw him racing and winning at the touring car level several years ago here in SRO America, but finally got the big chance to step into a proper GT. And you just thought, with this team, the Rafa Racing team, which is built on the bones of the old Smooge Racing team, and the teammate in Tyler Gonzalez, you really felt like they were going to flex some muscle at points this year, and they have. The one win so far is all they have to show for it, but if you've been paying attention, you know they've been right at the sharp end. Oh, it is tightening up here, isn't it, in AM? And what's making this interesting is James Walker Jr.
Oh, he loses it right in front of Laura Hayes. She misses him, as does Hannah Grisham and James Clay.
This could be big for James. He needs to get going before Michael Oriema gets there to take a position away in class. That's a car in the midst of a championship fight. That also completely throws away what I was about to say, where Walker can help to back Hayes up to James Clay, the team car to Walker. White flag out for Gresham Wagner. Right now, Laura Hayes has that buffer of Hannah Grisham, keeping her safe from the hard-charging BMW behind her.
I think James Clay will be very happy with this big picture of the championship. 3 podiums on the weekend. Not the top step, but they'll increase their championship lead if they finish off this final lap. Oh, Grisham's off big time.
That sets Clay loose. That opens up the battle here for the winning class, but how much is James willing to risk here, fighting with a car that's not a championship rival?
Got to be careful. He's drawn a couple of penalties already this year that has been pivotal, so he's just got to keep it clean. If there's the opportunity, a win is a win, you're going to go for it, as he really sends it down into that brake. So a little bit of drift there with the front end.
He's going
sliding
for it.
on him.
No question about it. Two-time champion back-to-back in the AM class just a few years ago. Suffered through a dreadful year last year. Trying to get back to the top step to get the big trophy.
Laura Hayes, think of the pressure though, Ryan. The pressure of bringing it home. That can get in your head a little bit right now. You got to hit your marks. Don't succumb to that pressure. You see Clay right there. Just hit your marks. Be precise.
At the front of the field, Gresham Wagner, Tyler Gonzalez, they keep the championship alive with a dominant race win in the 3rd race of the weekend at Barber Motorsports Park. Matt Bell and Alex Vogel take their first win as they see the checkered flag first for OMS in their McLaren. Huge victory, big result for them. And now the drag race to the line in the AM class. Laura Hayes for Thunder Bunny Racing sees the checkered flag first. Alan Patton, Laura Hayes take their first win in Pirelli GT4 America.
Awesome job. They deserve that. They've shown so much speed this season. They finally break through and get that win.
Congratulations to all the winners. Wagner and Gonzalez, they knew they had one mission today. As long as they won,
there was a chance.
There was a chance. Well, they got it done. For the first time all year, Kevin Bohm and Kenton Cook had some misfortune. They still, though, score 5th place points. And they have, if not a whole hand, then at least a few fingers on the trophy. But it's not done just yet. Give these two credit. They came out swinging here today.
Yeah, they really did. Car looked good. Probably the strongest been all weekend long. Maybe the conditions came to them, maybe tweaked on it a little bit last night on what they learned through the first 2 races of the weekend, but a little bit cooler today. And sometimes that just sweetens the pot for some of these manufacturers.
This is going to be really special for Alex and for Matt. Not only is it their first win, it's their first podium of the season. Previous best finish, a couple of 5th places. But Alex, you called it out in that opening stint. He was right there, kept them in the mix. That yellow was perfect for their strategy, and Matt did the rest.
He did. He's been absolutely flying. We saw that here yesterday. Had the pole, ran up front all day long. And Alex Vogel, as you said, that was just as close a delta as I've seen between he and Matt Bell throughout his career. That was a great job.
Now, clearly the McLaren well sorted for this track. Both teams that ran that car were really quick this weekend. Also, the Black Dog team. Tony Gaples did slide down to 4th in class in the final analysis, but again, they showed what they could do with Michael Cooper early in the going. But let's run through the results. Gonzalez and Wagner, the win overall, ahead of Bell and Vogel. 2nd and 3rd in silver, finished 3rd and 4th in the overall order with Ortman and Arthur, Webb and Newdorf. That's another trophy for Jonathan Newdorf to try and haul back, to go along with 3 in TC America and another podium result earlier in the weekend here in GT4. Swearingen and Dickinson narrowly denied yet another win, but it's still a really good day for them. They come home 2nd in the race. Green and Craven just behind, ahead of Cooper and Gaples.
Yeah, really tightens up. They're only 4 points back of the 94 squad. They're heading to India, I think. So everything to play for there is going to be nip and tuck.
Similar story in the AM class. Hayes and Patton not part of the championship talk, but their first win, that will be welcome, unquestionably, for them. But a good recovery after a pretty disappointing weekend to this point for Clay and Postons. They've had some decent results, but haven't really had clean races until today. And actually, even then, they had the spin, didn't they, in the very beginning of the race, and were able to recover to still take home 2nd.
Tell you what, Gresham Wagner is fired up. You can just tell it. He is like buzzing right now.
I think these guys will be too. Vogel to the right, Matt Bell getting the balaclava off, getting to celebrate a race win in Pirelli GT4 America in the Pro-Am class, which is as hotly contested as you will find in GT racing. I think I just heard Alex say we should do that every weekend, which, yeah, it's a pretty good idea.
Why not?
Got one more weekend to try and do it. At the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a place that McLaren has a little bit of history over the years in single-seaters, both in Formula One, but most notably in Indy cars. They'll have plenty to bench race about at the conclusion of this race. Sounds like Amanda has caught up with some of our winners. Take the chance to head down there now.
As family starts to make its way over to the podium to congratulate our winners. And Grisham, it was an active second half of this race. Walk us through the restart and bringing it home for Toyota.
Well, I definitely didn't want to see that yellow because Tyler did an amazing job to get us a huge lead there. So it went from management to then having to ace the restart and build a little bit of a gap on my own. So, you know, I wasn't sure exactly what the pace of the cars behind was going to be. There were a lot of marbles on the restart, so tricky first couple laps. But when I look back after about 2-3 laps, I had a bit of a buffer. So at that point, I just had to bring the car home. And, you know, this car, we finally nailed the setup today. So stayed really consistent through the run and really predictable. So really glad to have this Toyota under me and have that to use to bring it home.
Tyler, your teammate just said a wonderful first stint for you. What gelled so well for the Toyota today?
First off, I just want to thank these crew guys, man. Rafa Racing. It was a bit of a bloodbath yesterday. They worked all night to get this Toyota put back together. Made some pretty big setup changes, and the car felt amazing today. So thanks to them. couldn't have done it without them. And yeah, just tried to keep it clean on the start, use that fresh air. Cooper ran away from me there, but it's all good. We were where we needed to be, and overall just happy to be up here for Toyota, for Indava, for Rafa Racing.
And your win pushes the championship along to Indianapolis with the hiccups for BMW here today as we move on to our Pro-Am winners. I do believe that they have moved under the tent to get these celebrations started, so let me head there to grab these guys for their first podium and first win. They will get to the top step. You guys are good. You've made it to the right place because you're going to go on that stage after. And Alex, man, I have to go to your stint because boy, did you did an excellent job. Calvin Fish and Ryan Marine were so complimentary, and to see your evolution in our paddock. How satisfying is this for you, Alex?
It is super satisfying, thank you, and really testament to Matt, who was constantly coaching and driving through. And unfortunately yesterday was super disappointing. We had an issue with the car and I just couldn't get it done. And to come back today with a car that was that good and put in those laps and then give it to Matt to do his magic was awesome. So it was great.
How about that alley-oop from Alex to get you started, Matt?
Perfect job. I think for one lap he was actually the second fastest car on track. Our goal for this year was just to be in striking range, and he just keeps learning and learning and learning and exceeding our goals. So today he was flying. The engineers, everyone on the team did a great job giving us a car that we needed. This track suits the car really well, and we maximized it. It was great.
And you set the overall fastest lap here today. Congratulations to Matt Bell. And this interview, I have been waiting for this one all season because they have been so close so many times, and there have been gremlins, there have been on-track incidents. And Laura, I talked to you prior to this race, and I said I might jump up and down with you when you have this breakout. As this floods over you from all the struggles, how refreshing is this win?
Yeah, it's really nice. It wasn't the easiest drive, so driving with the flu today, so did what I could, and Alan put me in a great position. Yeah, finally it came together, so it feels pretty good.
Alan, for you guys as well, you know how the struggles have gone through the season. To have this one off the back, what can we expect from this team now?
Yeah, just a big monkey off our back finally. A bunch of misfortunes throughout the year, so hopefully we got it all out of the way this year, and next year can be way better.
Congratulations. And all I heard from Laura there is that she's Michael Jordan and she just played her flu game, guys.
I think you're spot on. Great analogy. Yeah. Great performance under the circumstances.
Adrenaline does a lot. That was a great performance. We've seen the speed all year long. Finally, they bring it home.
Here are the points leaving Barber Motorsports Park. Triple header. We figured it might shake some things up, and it did. Here in silver, really, the lead calcified through the first two races. Kenton Cook, Kevin Boehm with a commanding advantage, but it's not done just yet. Wagner and Gonzalez can tell themselves they've got a shot at it, but they would need a lot of help going into Indianapolis with Ortman and Arthur sitting in a distant third.
Yeah, they'd essentially have to sweep the weekend and not see any points on the board, and with the rules now, just starting the race means you score points, so it's unlikely.
From silver to Pro-Am, where there's no talk of clinching just yet. I think this will come down to the final lap of the season, the way this is shaking out. Green and Craven by just 4 points, but now over Swearingen and Dickinson, who began the weekend in fourth. 25 points back. They have closed to within 4, leapfrogged 2 other crews, and have a really good shot. McQuarrie and Walker still finishing third. That is their, or did they finish third again today?
No, they dropped back with a little spin there.
Oh, that's right, at the end.
Yeah.
Correct, but third in the points. Cooper and Gaples, they were there, they were in the mix coming in, just couldn't put the full weekend together. Really didn't have Lady Luck on their side.
They did, and that yellow really killed them. They did such a great job in that opening phase with Cooper breaking out there from the pole.
And to the M class, where it continues to be awfully tight. Down to a 2-horse race, though, between Postins and Clay, now leading by 10 points. Over Gerazzi and Schmid, who got shuffled back in this race today. Didn't get to chronicle that, but they end up 5th, and that has allowed Postins and Clay, with their second place result, to extend the advantage to 10 points, which isn't huge, but it's reasonably comfortable, especially when you compare it to what we've seen in Pro-Am. Should set up a fantastic finale at IMS. Just 2 races remain in the season after this one. It was Michael Cooper who took the green flag and controlled the race from the beginning. Tyler Gonzalez ran a solid second overall, but in command of the silver class, trying to get that win to keep their championship hopes on life support. Big moment there. Darius Trinka nearly threw it all away, but a great save, and he stayed very much in the hunt, kept on going. He and Paul Sparta ended up in fourth. Big restart moment here. This had huge implications. First of all, took down a contending car in Celia Haug and Elgadian, but it also caused damage to Kevin Bowman, Kenton Cook. They ultimately had to retire as a consequence of not just this tire rub, but also an intercooler that was punctured with the contact. They finished just fifth, so unable to seal the title today. Fourth would have been enough. In the Pro-Am class, it came down to a duel between Matt Bell and Riley Dickinson. Bell put the move on to Riley, got the position made, and then sprinted up to second overall, where he was trying to chase down Gresham Wagner in the final analysis. Ended up 4.5 points back. Late race drama nearly affected the AM class, but they were able to make it through despite the spin there for James Walker Jr., Tyler Gonzalez, and Gresham Wagner. Just the second time this year and first in the sprint race. See the checkered flag first. Congratulations to them. Laura Hayes and Thunder Bunny got their first win of the year in AM here at Barber.